Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1259 of What's She Up To Now. She comes from my initials, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. A couple years ago, I started to document my journey here as I went from the offline to the online world, the corporate America to the online world, and just keeping track of. I used to keep notebooks. I have, if you look around me, I have literally dozens of notebooks on all different things. I'm always writing in notebooks. This is my Idiom notebook, my current one. This is probably my, I don't know, 9th or 10th notebook of idioms, as I share an idiom every day on my Supersize Your Business page. And I have lots of notebooks about things I learned, things I studied. When I listen to things, I usually take some kind of notes. And as my vision has gotten worse, I used to document my journey and kind of keep track of what I was doing in notebooks. But that became more challenging for me personally. And I needed to be able to talk on videos, do live videos to present and share information instead of just keeping everything in notebooks. So I started to do a daily documentation of my journey. What am I doing? What's working? What's not working? The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything. And I pretty much share a little tidbit of everything with respect to my business. Sometimes I share stuff that's going on outside of my business and in my personal life or what I'm doing with different challenges. Sometimes not. It just depends what is in the top of my mind. Sometimes I wake up with something that's just niggling away and nudging my mind, and we'll talk about that in this particular segment. So today, I'm just sharing a couple of interesting observations. Our idiom for today for Supersize Your Business was the man. Now, this is one of those idioms that was popular for most of my life. It really got popular in the 1950s as, excuse me, I'm all choked up about it, as the oppressor or the powers that be that are oppressing other people. So I'm sure we'll hear about the man coming up in these current times, because there seems to be this strange resurgence of things that had pretty much gone by the wayside for the vast majority of the people in America, but are now being brought up as issues and challenges primarily by the media and politicians to make us all think that we're crazy. However, we're not. Anyway, the man, it can be either oppressor of the power, oppression from the powers that be, or it can be a compliment. It can be a reverement or respect or sign of credibility in a person's industry or area of expertise or field or whatever it is that they do. So it can go both ways. It's one of those idioms, and there's a lot of idioms that are like that can be interpreted either for the positive or the negative. Kind of like everything else in our lives, right? We can look at the experiences we have and we get to decide what they mean for us. Is it a positive thing or a negative thing? Or is it just a neutral thing that happened and then we just move about our life and create what it is that we want? So the man was our idiom today, and I guess I learned a couple of things about it. Number one, I don't think it's very popular right now. I don't hear very many people saying you're the man or whatever. And being a woman and in corporate America and in business, I don't think anybody's ever called me the man. I think more the boss or our fearless leader or some weird things like that people call you, especially when you're not actually a man. And gender has nothing to do with this, right? All right, so that was our idiom today. And for the month of July, I decided I was just going to talk about leadership every day. Now, I think it's a stretch to get the man and talk about leadership, but it means like a boss or a person in charge, so it's not a super hard stretch. But I did create and come up with a whole list of different idioms that are supposed to be about leadership, and I think there's maybe one or two that actually instantly make me think of leadership. The rest of them are a stretch. And why am I doing them? Because that's the point of the exercise for me every day, is to make the stretch from here's this idiom, here's this weird English expression, and here's what it means. Well, how does that apply to me growing and building and supersizing my business? Sometimes it's easy to understand and make a connection. Other times, got to get a little creative and figure out, well, how could this fit with me building and growing my business? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So that was our idiom for today. Our annual challenge to do one thing every day that centers us was about knowledge and wisdom. It's a 2-part one, and I thought it was really a good one. It talks about when we want to attain knowledge in our lives, we add things to our life. We go out, we learn, we read books, we watch webinars, we watch documentaries, we go to the library. I know, remember when people used to go to the library? We study, we add things to our brain and to our little red wagon, as my dad would call it. And as we want to become more wise, we subtract things from our wagon. We let go of things that just don't matter and aren't important to us anymore. And I would say that as I've gotten older, I love this saying. It's by Lao Tzu, and I think it's awesome because it's so true. And I think when we're younger, we're just all absorbed in learning and growing and getting more knowledge. And at some point we say, okay, well, wait a minute, I know all this stuff. I'm not using 90% of it. Why am I focusing on that? Why am I focusing on the drama and the minutia and the stuff in my life or that is around me in my life that just doesn't matter? And we start subtracting things. I remember following my sudden cardiac arrest. One of the things I came out of that experience with was I chose not to participate in other people's drama, other people's situations, including my family members, stuff that was not mine to figure out, wasn't mine to deal with, wasn't my personal problem. Because guess what? I had to focus on my health for probably the first time in my life, and I had to pay attention to that. So I didn't have a lot of time and energy left over for, petty grievances or arguments, or he said this to me and she said that, and now we're all upset and fighting. Okay, well, y'all need to get together and figure that out. I'm not going to figure that out for you. When you're a mom, you try to fix a lot of stuff for your kids, and I realized that I needed to let go and let them take personal responsibility, grow up, and figure out a lot of their own stuff. Same with my sisters. I have a bunch of sisters, and sometimes, I don't know about you and your family, but in my family, sisters mean drama. So one sister would say something about another sister, or to another sister, and then 2 of the 4 of my sisters would call and expect me to weigh in on the situation. And I literally would say, name of my sister, I'm not going to say which one, I choose not to participate. I choose not to participate in this discussion, in this drama. Y'all need to go figure it out. I'll tell you, they've come to understand that I'm not going to do it anymore, but it took several years for other people to realize that I wasn't going to fix everything for them. And as a mom and a business owner and a corporate manager and things, you just automatically have that fix-it belief, that fix-it mentality. But if you take on everyone and a lot of other people's problems and situations and dramas, you don't have the time and energy left to create the life that you want. So I highly recommend bowing out and choosing not to participate in a lot of things. And a lot of times you don't even need to tell people you're not going to participate. You just don't respond, don't react, and don't participate in things that aren't yours. I didn't used to like the saying, not my circus, not my monkeys, but it's so true. And there's a lot of other ways of describing it, but it's so true. We take on, it's like people that watch the news and the media and get all upset over all the drama and all the trauma and all the negative things or all the bad things that happen in the world. My ex-mother-in-law is like that. She watches the news, and then I gave up watching the news in the 80s, and part of why I could do that is I knew that my mother-in-law was always going to let me know anything bad or anything negative that could possibly happen or any danger that could befall my children, because she was going to respond to it, and she was going to repeat the news that she had heard in the media that she had heard to me. So I figured I didn't need to listen to it and watch it because I didn't need to watch it twice, especially the negative things, right? There's so much emphasis and what's wrong in the world, what's negative, what's bad, that we just get inundated with it. And depending on your friend group or the people that you're exposed to or you hang around with, you might get double, quadruple, 10 times the dose of that negativity than by watching the news yourself. So anyway, I gave up watching it in the 80s, and I'm glad that I did, because I still, enough of it trickles through from the people that we associate with, from the situations around, from conversations that we hear, from other ways of seeing it, that we don't need to go out and choose to spend our time watching it. So again, that's another one of those things that you can choose not to participate in. I choose not to participate in discussions about religion. People's religions are none of my business. I don't participate in discussions about people's sexuality or gender identification. It's none of my business. It's up to them to decide what they want. Politics, every once in a while I get sucked in, but I try for the most part just to put filters on and ignore all of that, because it doesn't make me feel good. And if it doesn't make me feel good or positive or lighter or happy, that means it's not for me. And so the more things, and that I guess is the tie into not participating or letting go of things, or paying attention to doing more of the things that feel good for us and letting go of the things that don't feel good for us. Because if it feels good, if it feels right for us, it is for us. If it doesn't feel good, if it feels like work, if it feels like struggle, if it feels like hustle, if it feels like hassle, guess what? We're doing it wrong. It's not the right thing for us. So I'm thinking about that today. I need to get ready for the next 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge. August 1st, we're going to start the next free 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge. And I have not thought about it for a couple of months. Periodically, once in a while here, it pops into my brain, but for the most part, not, because I haven't done it since April. So we're going to do it again in August. I'm excited about it because I want to combine all of the best features of the previous challenges, which we've done 7 now, 7 30-plus day challenges and a couple smaller ones. I want to combine all of them into this next one in August. So it should be awesome. I'm convinced, and I know that it will be awesome. So if you're interested in joining us on that, just hit me up in the comments below, or there'll be more coming about it in the next couple of days, because I want to do a better job of letting people know that we're doing it in advance, instead of just boom, all of a sudden it's August 1st and we're doing the challenge. We'll for sure we'll do it on the Get Up and Go Challenge Facebook page. And then there's also a private Facebook group for that Get Up and Go Challenge, where we share our homework and we have more personal, more intimate discussions about the topics that we talk about, and that we can be more open, because it's a private group, so everybody in the world doesn't see it. But everybody can see the of course, Facebook Get Up and Go page. And not that billions of people look at it, but they could, theoretically. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm actually hanging out with my infant granddaughter today. I'm super excited about that. Her parents are going to go fishing, so I'm going to play with her. And it is so rejuvenating and so fun to hang out with granddaughters, that it's almost hard to describe. Raising your kids, it's all about you and 100% your responsibility. Your grandkids, it's about you enjoying them as little human beings and as people, and having fun and helping to, sustain and help them with their little communication and their confidence skills and their egos, and to become the best person that they can be. Like with our kids, we make all our mistakes. With our grandkids, we correct all the mistakes we made with our kids. All right. Have an awesome day. If I can help you anyway, ask in the comments below. I like to be that resource where, if you are like I am and you hate to ask, but you know that you've looked and you've tried to figure out the answer to something and you just don't know the next step to take, just direct message me. You can direct message right on the video, or leave it in the comments below so other people can learn from your question as well. And I guarantee I might not have the answer for you, but I can hook you up with the person or the resource that you need to keep moving, to get momentum, to take that next step so you never feel stuck. Go out, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow, reporting on what the heck Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, is doing from the offline to the online world, and a little bit back to the offline world again in 2021. Have a great day.